Hey internet, it's Jessica. Please excuse my voice. I caught a cold all of a sudden. I don't even know how I did that. I didn't even go anywhere this weekend. I'm not even at E3 and I caught a cold already. Oh my god. This is gonna be my video for like the wrap up of what I thought about E3 this year and how I feel about the presentations and like what games I'm looking forward to. So we'll start with the games that I'm looking forward to. On my list are Cyberpunk 2077. I have been looking forward to this game for a very long time. I'm a huge fan of RPGs as well. And then adding on top of that, the Cyberpunk theme was really cool because, you know, I haven't really played many RPGs recently. Fallout 4 really let me down, same with Fallout 76, and, you know, Bethesda usually was my go-to, or BioWare, actually. Andromeda didn't work out either, so, all the developers that I was counting on for my RPG fix didn't really come up with anything good recently, so I'm hoping that Cyberpunk will be good. And then an added bonus, Keanu Reeves is in this one. I did not expect that he was going to be in this game, but he's actually playing a character called Jimmy Silverhand, I think that's his name. He's a very important character within the lore of the game, so I would love to know more about his character and like how he's going to correlate with ours, and if he's romanceable. I think everyone wants to know, like, can we romance Keanu Reeves in the game? Because if it's true, I think we're all going to do it. The next game that I'm looking forward to is Final Fantasy VII Remake. This game has been very... You know, I waited a very long time. Everyone has waited a really long time for this. I'm excited for it because, you know, nostalgia, I played it when I was a kid. So I would love to play it again with voice acting, better graphics, and how everyone is designed. They all look beautiful. But the only thing I'm kind of concerned about is the episodic format, because Final Fantasy VII is not an episodic game. I think everyone is aware of that. Any Japanese RPG is not really episodic game. So, from like a business standpoint, I understand why they're doing it in an episodic format, but at the same time, I would rather wait like maybe like a year or two more just so I can play the full game. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to wait for it. It just seems so unnecessary, but I don't know, the seeing the combat stuff, because I was also iffy about, like, you know, it's not turn-based anymore, but they did show how everything was gonna be. If you haven't seen my, like, reaction video, they showed a demo of it. Like, you could freeze time and have a, you know, think about what your next move is, which is why I love the turn-based one. It's more, you can strategize better, because you can figure out what your moves that you're gonna use, and then you can switch between characters, and we saw Tifa finally. Everyone has been waiting for her. I love Tifa, I've always loved her, so it was really nice seeing her. And did you see her outfit? She is all like modernized, and it's not like how do I say this? Like weird looking? I don't know, because everyone knows Tifa had big boobs in the freaking original game, but they're more proportioned to her body. She still has big boobs, okay, just saying. But they're more proportioned to her body because she is a tiny girl. Knowing the voice actors, I originally thought they were all going to be Advent Children's voice actors from the movie, but I was told that they weren't, and they kind of changed the voice actors. And I thought it was David Galler who was voicing Cloud, who voiced Riku in Kingdom Hearts 3, but it turns out it's not. It's new people. You know, Final Fantasy VII, the original game, was never voiced. Final Fantasy X was the first game in the series where they had voice acting, so I think it's fine. I think they'll do all fine, because, like, you know, when I was listening to the trailer, it wasn't bad or anything. I was just comparing it because, like, I'm so used to hearing Steve Byrne play as Cloud, so I guess it's just going to be completely different now. Another game I'm looking forward to is Avengers. This one I have been looking forward to because I miss playing, like, Marvel games. I used to play a lot of X-Men games when I was a kid, and those are my favorite, but I haven't played, like, Ultimate Alliance or anything like that, not really. So knowing that this is a standalone separate from the movie, and it's just like their own original story by Crystal Dynamics, Marvel and Square. Crystal Dynamics have worked on Tomb Raider, and Tomb Raider is like one of my favorite series, so I completely trust them. People were shitting on this game though because of the way it looks. Like, people need to realize, again, this is not the final form. They still have a long way to go, but I think it's also the fact that this game is stylized to that certain way. People are saying, like, it's shitty graphics, but guess what? A lot of games with shitty graphics have been better games than AAA titles, if I'm being completely honest. Just because it looks pretty and there doesn't mean it's a good game. You know what I'm saying? thing, if it has a good story, it has good like gameplay, voice acting. There's a lot of things that go into a game, not just the way it looks. So that's why I'm not like shitting on it how it looks at the moment, because like again it could change, but I think it's just stylized like that. That's the way it's supposed to look. And also people were complaining about like, oh, they don't look like Robert Downey Jr. or Chris Evans or whatever, but that's the point. It's not related to the movie, it's a separate thing, and it's their own design of like what they interpreted the characters to be, because it's not really like the comics either. So I'm completely fine with this. They got a stellar cast. Oh my god, did you see who was voicing everyone? I'm so excited, because that explains why Troy Baker and Nolan North were like, hey, look at E3, because there's a surprise there, and it turns out they're gonna be in this game, and I swear they're like in every game now. So they got good voice actors, and this is co-op, and which makes me very happy, because I get to play it with my friends, because we've been talking about like playing an Avenger game or something co-op-y, so we got something now. I'm very glad there's no loot boxes or anything like that, but you never know. There might be microtransactions, because like I feel like the industry has confused the word microtransactions and loot boxes, because anything you pay in-game still counts as a microtransaction, you know what I'm saying? The next game I'm looking forward to is called 12 Minutes. This is an indie game where you have 12 minutes to break, you're stuck in a loop, a time loop essentially. Something happens to your wife, you have to figure out what is going on. If you don't get her to confess what she did within 12 minutes, she will die. Or you will die. There's different scenarios, you just have to figure it out, and I really, really love games like that. I don't know, I think it's top-down, because the way that the camera was looking in the trailer, I think it is top-down. I think it's a very interesting concept, because again, I love anything related to time travel or time loops or something like that, time paradoxes, but this is an indie game, and I can tell this one is going to be a really, really good one. The next one is surprisingly going to be Blair Witch. Now, I'm not a huge horror fan because of my anxiety disorder. I don't really do well with horror games, but I'm willing to give this a shot because it's actually made by Bloober Team, who made Layers of Fear. I just finished recently Layers of Fear 2, and even though it scared the shit out of me, I love the story of it. So I never really watched the Blair Witch movies. I know about them, but I never really watched them. But seeing the trailer and how everything looked, originally I thought it was like Outlast or like Silent Hill or something like that, but it creeped me out, and it's first person, so that doesn't help, but I really want to give it a shot. So it is coming out next month, so when it does, I will play it for the channel. I'll probably live stream, because I do better live streaming horror games than like playing it by myself, because I don't like playing horror games by myself, but it looks very interesting, and definitely it's gonna be scary because it's first person. I can tell Bloober Team has a good way of like showing creepy atmosphere with their environments, not just with like the gameplay of like first person or whatever. They know how to set the mood, so I'm looking forward to see how creepy this one is, and I'll play it with you guys because I don't want to be alone. The next one is something that I'm not entirely sure about now that I've kind of like went over the footage and everything. It's Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Now, I was originally excited for this because, again, we haven't had a good Star Wars game in a really long time, and this is supposed to be a single-player game, and I prefer single-player games. I'm not really a big multiplayer or, like, online kind of person. I love story-driven games, single-player, so this is supposed to be it. But it's weird because when I saw the EA play, I was like, oh, okay, maybe they just need to polish it up, whatever, right? But then I saw the trailer again on Xbox, and it seemed a little bit different. So it's like, I'm not entirely sure what EA is trying to show. It's like, does it look good or does it look bad? I don't know. Aside from that, we didn't really get to see like this skill tree and like other mechanics of the gameplay. They kind of just like hidden everything away, which I get, you want to show it at day one, I understand that, but I feel like since it's EA and a lot of people do not trust EA, and I'm one of those people because like what has happened recently, I'm kind of worried that this game is going to fall into that realm, but I have some hope because Respawn is the one that's making it, and they did Titanfall and all of that, and they're kind of like trying to go against what EA has said, so I'm kind of giving them the benefit of the doubt that maybe it's good, but at the same time I don't want to give it 100% because again, it's EA and they have let me down with Mass Effect Andromeda, because I love Mass Effect series, and Andromeda, I tried to finish that game so badly, but I couldn't, and then Anthem happened, and with the whole controversy with Star Wars and the loot boxes and stuff like that, it's just like EA's has lost its way. They don't let their developers do what they're supposed to do, which is make good games. They can't do it anymore. So I guess I'm gonna have to like wait a little bit, because even though the game, like when I reacted to it, at first I was really excited because I'm like, oh, it's, you know, it's a Jedi game, like cool, it's Star Wars, you know what I mean? Like the gameplay's not that bad, and then, you know, the BT little droid, that was cute, but then you look at like the Wookiees and I'm like, what the hell happened to them? The environment too, it's not like, I don't know, it just feels very weird. So I'm not sure. I want to because it's a single player game, but I'm not entirely sure. The final game that I'm looking forward to, even though there's no like real release date, is Ghostwire Tokyo. That is the one game from Bethesda's conference that I am looking forward to. It's supposed to be like a horror-ish game, but there's no gameplay or anything, no release date. They just want to announce it, but I kind of trust, you know, Japanese developers more than like North American, because they tend to make more games better, focusing on the story rather than like microtransactions or something like that. Aside from Nakamura presenting it, because she was so sweet, she was honestly, she's so endearing in the way she presented everything. I loved it. But aside from her, I think what intrigued me was the concept of it. She said it was paranormal, and I'm into that kind of stuff, and saying that people in Japan are just disappearing for no reason. And I don't know, it's like an occult kind of thing. I don't know if it's like aliens, demons, like what is it? Because it seemed like a mix of like other stuff too. We saw like a ghost lady in there, so it could be a bunch of things, but I'm really interested in that one. I really do hope it's like a very heavily focused on story stuff, because I love games like that. So we'll have to see next year maybe if they'll show up. Anyway, the overall experience of like E3 watching from home, each conference, and this year has been, you know, very, you know, enjoyable. It wasn't that cringy. Like every year there's like a, you know, a cringy moment from every conference, but this year wasn't that bad. I think the only thing I didn't like was EA Play's presentation. They took half an hour per whatever game they were going to show, and I feel like that's such a bad approach, because they were like doing a lot of in-depth interviews and like showing behind the scenes, which is not bad. I totally get that technical stuff. It's important to show because some people really are curious about that stuff, and it's not a bad thing. But I feel like if you're doing a presentation for the audience about a new game or a new thing, you should just get to the point, just show the trailer, show the gameplay, show the release date. That's it. You know, that's what everyone tunes in for. But EA was just, I had to turn off my stream. Like I left halfway through because I'm like, I can't do this. After like Star Wars, I'm like, it's too much. I can't stay. And then we got Xbox with Keanu Reeves. That was like a highlight. I think everyone really loved that. But Xbox was like straight to the point. They just showed everything after the other, and then occasionally Phil Spencer or someone else would come up on stage and talk about something. But the thing they talked about, I think the most important thing was talking about the new Xbox. They didn't really show it, but they it's called Project Scarlet, and the specs are similar to the PlayStation 5 or whatever it's going to be called. So again, they're straight competition. I think the reason why, you know, Sony always wins with this kind of stuff is because, yeah, they focus on the hardware, but at the same time they focus on the development of their games, like the whoever is the exclusive for our PlayStation. I think that's why I've always been loyal to Sony. It's like I don't care about consoles, I really don't care, but that's why I'm always like buying a PlayStation. I don't really buy an Xbox because Xbox focus on the hardware, which is a good thing too. It's not a bad thing, but they don't have any games for it. You know what I'm saying? There's no games that can use their hardware, like the 4K. Now they're doing 8K. I'm like, who can like afford a TV like that? I don't know. Sony's doing the same thing with 8K, and they said they want to focus on like faster loading times, which is great because some games do need that. Some games take a really long time to load, like Days Gone. But yeah, there's not really much details about it. I imagine it's gonna cost me a fortune, like the PS5 will, so we'll see. The next one is Bethesda, and you know, I'm really disappointed in Bethesda. I think a lot of people are disappointed in Bethesda. More specifically with like Fallout 7. I don't know what the hell was. Why were people cheering for that? Can someone explain to me why were people cheering for Fallout 76, the Battle Royale, all this and that? And like Todd Howard showed up. He said, "Yeah, we admit to our mistakes," but at the same time, it's like it felt like he didn't really care. He wasn't really genuine, saying like we're taking feedback and all that stuff. I don't think they care. And there wasn't any mention of Starfield, which is their new game. I understand that they didn't want to talk about Elder Scrolls because they said they want to focus on Starfield. Then Elder Scrolls 6, but he just left. He didn't even say anything. Todd Howard walked up on stage, was like, yeah, we admit our mistakes. Okay, bye. Like, what? That one dude in the front, though, that guy who kept cheering, woo, the entire time. Oh my god. Bethesda always have these, like, hype people every single, like, freaking conference. I don't understand. But I was, like, just disappointed in them overall. I think the only thing I was impressed with is, like, you know, the games that were not directly related to Bethesda, like, Ghostwire, you know? So that it's just, like, I don't know, Bethesda has been really disappointing me, seeing that they're gonna be their standard. I don't even know if I want to, like, buy Elder Scrolls or Starfield. Like, I'm looking forward to it, because, like, it's a new IP, but at the same time, it's just, like, after what happened with this, I don't know. I'm just not sure. I feel like they need to, like, earn a lot of the community's, like, trust back after what happened with Fallout 76. It's not a good look. And then we got Ubisoft's conference, and Ubisoft was really, I don't know, it wasn't, like, exciting to me. It was kind of boring, if I'm being completely honest. The only, like, exciting thing to me that happened was John Bernthal and his freaking dog. But I love John, so that was, like, pretty cool. But everything else, like, felt really weird. And then they were like, hey, we have a new movie to, like, that random movie that they were gonna make. That was so weird too, because it's just like we're focusing on gaming, and I get the movie's supposed to be focused on a game or like a game developer, but it seems so weird, you know? It seems so out of place and random. I didn't like that. Then finally we got Square Enix's, and I actually loved Square's presentation, because, you know, I was excited for a lot of things in that conference, but, you know, it was enjoyable. They had Nomura coming out in shorts, because, you know, why not? But the overall atmosphere of that conference felt really, really nice. Like, everything was, like, good. It wasn't, like, cringy or annoying. They showed trailer after trailer, and occasionally someone would come up and talk about the big games like Avengers and, you know, Final Fantasy 7. So it wasn't awful. It was enjoyable. They answered a lot of the questions that a lot of people had. So again, I feel like for me, the one that won for me was Square Enix. That's just my opinion. But I did enjoy their conference a lot. And finally, we have Nintendo's conference, which is, like, you know, short and sweet. They always get to the point every single year. They just show trailer after trailer. I think it was nice. The thing that really surprised me was the prequel to Breath of the Wild. I haven't played it, but my husband talks about it every single time. He loves Legend of Zelda, so when I told him about this, he was really happy. The one thing I was, like, thinking about was, like, Banjo-Kazooie coming to Smash, because I kept hearing, like, Banjo's gonna come back, but I thought it was, like, in game form or something like that, but no, he's coming in Smash. They did a little fake off tease thing again. That was annoying, but it was still enjoyable to watch, you know, Nintendo's conference. And then Doug Bowser was introduced. They did a little bit with Bowser, so I think that was really cool. But again, Nintendo's always good. Personally, for me, I know a lot of people say that they prefer Nintendo's conference, which is great, but for me, I don't own any Nintendo consoles, so that's why I couldn't enjoy it as much as I would like to. But I'm very happy that a lot of people enjoy it, and it's a good conference. Like, they don't, like, do any gimmicky bullshit at theirs, so I do appreciate Nintendo for doing that. So overall, this year's E3 was, like, you know, not cringy. It was good, enjoyable, but there's some, like, certain conferences that need work. I already mentioned. There's a lot of games that I'm looking forward to, but damn, everything's coming out next year in spring. I'm gonna have no money. Okay, it's all in, like, March, April, May, like, that time frame. I'm gonna have no money for that. Oh my goodness, no money. Anyway, I would like to hear from you guys. What did you guys think of E3 this year? What's your favorite game that you heard? What was your favorite conference? Favorite moment at E3? Let me know in the comments. I would love to talk to you guys about it, because, you know, E3 is, like, the best time of year for gamers. You know, we get stuff. Even though sometimes we don't get release dates, but it's okay. Anyway, my normal scheduled content will come out soon. Hopefully, I won't have to, like, take days off because I'm sick now, but we'll see. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, remember to leave a like, let me know in the comments what you think, and be sure to subscribe and hit the bell button so you know when I upload something on the channel. I don't know what it is. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!